Thanks for watching Capital City News, your connection to Salt Lake City government. I'm your host, Poonam Kumar. On today's show, I'm down at the Gallivan Center for Food Truck Thursday, where people are gathered for lunch and live music. You can too, every Thursday at 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. down at the Gallivan Center. On today's episode of Capital City News, we will be interviewing Andrew Parker with the Leonardo about exhibits and upcoming programs. And our History Minute is about Dorothy Poynton-Hill, Olympic diver and medalist. But first, let's start with our legislative update and look back. At the August 16th meeting, the City Council discussed the county's Collective Impact Initiative, which is designed to address homelessness countywide. Discussion centered on how potential facilities could be tailored to the specific gender populations they house, as well as funding and which entities will own and manage the facilities. The Council will continue to discuss this topic in the coming months. The Council also discussed proposed regulations for pedicabs, plus it adopted the Northwest Quadrant Master Plan, a 25-year plan detailing the vision, goals, and policies that will guide growth and development within the area of the city located just west of the airport. Furry friends and their families gathered at Liberty Park for some off-leash play, live music, food trucks, and more at YAPPY Hour, hosted by Salt Lake City's Parks Division. Event goers and their four-legged friends receive valuable information and fun giveaway at this free city event. The next YAPPY Hour will be held on Wednesday, September 7th from 5 to 8 p.m. at Pioneer Park. Laura Fritz, director of the city's Department of Economic Development, joined the Downtown Alliance and other business leaders to present the State of Downtown in a roundtable discussion. 2 status reports on commercial real estate, retail health, and residential development was released. Pro golfer Tony Finau, who was just featured on the cover of Golf magazine, recently returned to Salt Lake City to visit his home course at Rose Park. District 1 Council member James Rogers and others welcomed him back. The Leonardo's original exhibit took flight earlier this month and welcomed over 3,000 guests opening weekend. This unique exhibit takes patrons on a completely immersive journey into the world and ecosystem of flight. The Leonardo is part of Salt Lake City's Civic Campus and offers exhibits, programming, and hands-on activities. In fact, the Leonardo just launched their original exhibit, Flight. Chief Marketing Officer Andrew Parker is here to fill us in.
The mission of the Leonardo is to inspire creativity and innovation. There's just a lot of cool stuff to do here and explore. And it's very hands-on. We want you to get in, make stuff, learn about it, break it down, figure out how stuff works. To really think about how Leonardo da Vinci kind of saw the world. Not necessarily about the man himself, but just the way that he looked at the world. He was passionate about flight. He spent much of his life trying to figure out how flight works. And the way that he kind of figured it out was that he actually watched fish go through the water. And so he learned about air current by learning about water currents. So flight really is designed to say, all right, we know a lot about airplanes and hot air balloons and missiles and rockets and all that other fun stuff that fly through the air, but we don't want you to just kind of look at it and be in awe of it. We want you to get in and mess with it, right? That the centerpiece of the exhibit is a giant C-131 aircraft. You can get in it, you can mess with the cockpit, you can press all the buttons and flip all the levers and switches. It's a great place for you to really get up close and personal with a plane. We have 2 flight simulators that were built specifically for the exhibit by Rockwell Collins. So you can get in, sit down, and figure out how to take a plane off, how to land a plane, and you get that whole sensation of what it actually feels like to be a real pilot in a real plane. There are interactives in there that will teach you how to actually make your own hot air balloon, how ballistic missiles take off and the amount of thrust and momentum that they need in order to take off from the ground. We have a big theater in there that we call it our airline theater. You can sit in an actual airline seat, watch some of the interesting history about flight. There's just plenty of hands-on stuff for you to really understand and learn how flying through the air works. So for more information or to buy tickets, you can go to theleonardo.org or you can call us at 801-531-9800.
And now it's time for our History Minute.
Born in Salt Lake City on July 17, 1915, Dorothy Poynton-Hill was the daughter of English immigrants to Utah. By the time she was a young girl, though, her family had moved to Los Angeles, where young Dorothy had become a world-class high diver. At 14, she won her first Olympic medal, a silver in women's springboard diving at the 1928 Olympics in Amsterdam. At 17, she took home a gold in the women's platform category at the 1932 Olympics in Los Angeles. In 1936, she became one of the first athletes to attend 3 consecutive Olympic Games to defend her medal. But 1936 was a peculiar year for the Olympics. Dorothy and the rest of the American team found themselves competing in Berlin during the height of Nazi rule. Adolf Hitler himself presided over the Games as a show to the world that things weren't as bad in Germany as they seemed. Though the ruse worked for a time, World War II would break out sooner rather than later. But for that brief moment in Berlin, the world came together. Dorothy came home from the 36 Games with another pair of medals, a gold and a bronze, and then took up professional swimming and product endorsements, namely with Camel cigarettes. She passed away in 1995 at the age of 79.
SLC TV would like to congratulate the mayor on her recent wedding. That's it for this episode of Capital City News. Tune in next time. For SLC TV, I'm Poonam Kumar.